Hello YouTube, since some things have changed with the way that I have the deployment set up for Ticket Auction Manager 3, decided to do an updated video on that. So to get started, for the remote server mode, so that's if you want to be able to share data between multiple clients, you can set up with a remote server, and I'll do that part first. For doing just a single client with access to its own data, whereas other computers can't access it, there is a bit of a deviation. Uh, you don't have to do the server part, so I'll try to split it off with titles and bookmarks for the video. But to get started on the remote server side, you need Podman or Docker installed, and then the Compose plugin for either or. So if you're on Fedora, you do have to DNF install Podman-Compose to get the Compose plugin for Podman. Or Docker, you just have to follow the Docker engine install from their website to get that going if you did want to use Docker instead. For my written tutorials, I describe how to do all that, but to keep this video shorter than it needs to be, I'll just jump into having Docker installed on your server. So I got two tabs here. This one on the left is the server side. This one on the right is client side. So you have DG server, and Dylan PC is my client side. So let's get started here. In the browser window, I have the releases page. So on my Ticket Auction Manager main page, releases on the side. And this is where the releases come from. So we're going to be copying a lot of these links to use on both the client and the server. So if you didn't want to load from the Docker hub, they do have limits on that. To get the two images that we need for the server, we can do the copy link here. Then in the directory that I'm using for this, you can set this up how you want to. So you can create a root level directory, or you can create a directory in var. Currently I'm working out of my main hard drive stack. So I'm going to create one for tam3/images, and I'm going to cd into tam3/images. So cd is change directory, just a little bit of Linux basics here. Now we're going to use the wget command, wget, and Control-Shift-V. That'll paste that in there. And it's going to download the offline images. Now we're going to extract using tar space dash xvzf, and tam. I'm just typing in tam, and pressing tab, and that'll tab auto complete it. And now that that's extracted, we can /server load, and then we're going to just press enter on that, and that'll load in the images. Now I'm going to backtrack one, so clear the screen, or you can use clear if you don't have shorthands like I do. We're going to cd ... That's going to backtrack one directory. Now we're going to get the actual configuration files for the server. So I'm going to use a secure one, since that's a little bit harder to set up. So it's probably better to demonstrate that while I'm on video here. I'm just going to close this. This is just a development environment. And I'm going to use the same WGET, Control-Shift-V, or space Control-Shift-V. And that will, pressing enter will download that file. And then same thing here, tar-xvzf. And we're going to just do tam and use a tab to autocomplete. And that's going to extract all of the configuration files. So to start the server, we're going to do /start server. Then just using tab autocomplete here. You can answer these how you want. I'm just doing some placeholders. Just you can put your LAN IP in. I don't recommend using this over the internet, by the way. This is all to be used on the same LAN as your entry or as your clients. So that was just pulling Nginx to be able to use it for reverse proxy. That's like the only image that usually has to pull after completing these steps. So I'm going to leave this up here because we're going to use this for a later step. Now we can start working on the client. So we'll just make a directory in the user home to stage the client image. Then cd into that. And now we're going to grab this client full one. So right click, copy link, wget, space Control-Shift-V. And that's downloading that. So now we're going to tar-xvzf tam tab, and then that auto completes it, and then press enter. Now we can go /client load. And that should load in the client. If it doesn't already have it. Then we're going to do a /client launch.sh. Now it's going to ask you if you want to connect to remote server. We're going to press Y here since we want to connect to remote server. For single entry mode, so if you don't want remote data to be available, you can just put N here instead. Then it just won't ask you what the server IP is and stuff. So we're going to put Y here. I'm just going to put test for the venue name. This would be like a shortened, abbreviated, or acronym name. And now since we did the secure one, https:// the LAN IP address, and the port number, which by default is 8443 unless you change that manually yourself. Now it's asking for the API key, so we need to generate one for this client. So on the server side, / is generate key, so I'm just putting in GE and then tab auto completing. And I'm going to give this the name of my desktop. Now it's generating an API key. Be careful not to grab extra spaces and stuff. But when you have it highlighted, Control-Shift-C in most terminal emulators. Then back to your client, Control-Shift-V. and that pastes in, then you press enter. Now it gives you this message. You can control click on this link, and it should go to it. So now that's installed and all running here, uh, it won't have any prefixes, but as you can see, the remote connection is successful. If you're getting any other message here, you may have to troubleshoot to see what you did wrong when putting in the server information or the API key. But on this screen, you can do Alt A, and it goes into admin mode. Prefix editor. You can use whatever naming scheme you want to for your event. The weight is your sort order. So the higher the number, the further down it's going to be sorted, or further to the right on the main screen. So now you can close out that tab once you got your prefixes set up. You can press refresh on your main menu, and now it should make the whole application available to you. You can change your prefix, whichever one you're entering at the time. These are your different forms here in this section. Then you have your reports here. So on your forms, if you enter in ticket numbers, so this would be the first number of a sequence or page, then the last number of a sequence or page. And when you click refresh, it should generate those rows for you on the screen. You can either use the buttons or you can use the shortcut keys that pop up when you hover over the buttons. So if I click that, that has the same effect as pressing Alt and then J. Or if I go next, it has the same effect as pressing Alt L. Previous has the same effect as pressing Alt O. I'm just putting a few in here, but normally you'd do a whole page or sequence. When you change rows, these should automatically change to Y. If they don't do it automatically, you can click on it and then it'll change it to Y. This determines which ones get saved when you click Save All or use the Alt S combination. So if I were to hit Save All the ones that say Y are going to get saved. As you can see, when I click Save All, they all change to N, meaning they have been saved into the server. So if I click refresh here, it won't get rid of them. Whereas if I put in one like this and turn it to no, even if I hit save all, once I hit refresh, it'll do it or do away with it. So the ones that you want to save, make sure they have Y's in that column. Baskets, you can do the same thing, just whatever sequence you need to put in. I'm just tabbing, so then that changes to Y, and we'll save it. And drawing, this is where you enter your winning ticket numbers. So after you draw for each item, you can enter your winning ticket numbers, and it'll look it up in real time as you tab out of your cells. And that lets you know if it's found. And same thing here, check to make sure it's wise. Save all. That will save your winning numbers there. You have your reports down here, so once you're done drawing for the event, you can generate your reports in one click. It shows the venue name here too, so you should be able to identify if you're changing based off of preference. It should update up here, so when you print them out, you'll be able to tell which sheets belong to which preferences. Then you can hit print up here, and it should print to your printer that you have set up. If you need to mess around with making or restoring backups, you can press Alt A again, and you have the backup/restore. You can back up stuff from the remote. If you don't have a remote set up, like if you answered no to setting up the remote thing when you set the client up, this will do a backup from local. But if you do have remote set up, this one will back up from remote, and it'll download a file when you click on it. And to restore a backup, you can browse to it, and then you click open, and it should go in there, and then once you click upload, it should upload that backup. So that's how you use backup and restore. So I guess that's pretty much all I can show of how to use Ticket, or how to set up and use Ticket Auction Manager 3. I guess that'll be it for this video as a result.